When we speak of the most successful football clubs in the world, certain names come to mind, but I bet your list wouldn't be complete without a mention of Real Madrid. Love them or hate them, the Real Madrid Football Club is one of the most decorated teams in the world. From their humble beginnings at Sky Football in the early 90s to the legendary moments that defined Los Blancos and had fans all over the world yelling "Hala Madrid" at the top of their voices, the Spanish giant is every player's dream club. But it wasn't always like this. The early years, 1902 to 1940. In 1897, a group of students started a football club known as Sky Football, or La Sociedad, meaning the society. At the time, it was the only football club based in Madrid, and they played only on Sunday mornings. However, this small club would only last for 3 years. By 1900, there was a dispute among the club's members, which led Julian Palacios and some other members to leave to found a different club. This new club was named Nueva Sociedad de Fútbol. This club would eventually become Real Madrid, with Palacios as its first ever president. However, it was only in the following year that the new football society was named Madrid Football Club. 3 years later, Madrid won its first Spanish Cup, the Copa del Rey. This was only the beginning. Madrid went on to win the Copa del Rey 4 more times consecutively. By 1917, they had won the title 5 times and also won 10 regional championships. However, it was only in 1920 that the club was named Real Madrid by King Alfonso XIII and allowed to add the royal crown to its crest. Then, a few years later, in 1929, Real Madrid joined La Liga, Spain's first ever national football league. However, in the first season, they lost to Atletico Bilbao, ending up as runners-up. Those losses turned into streaks, and they ended up losing their most claimed Copa del Rey title consecutively in 1929 and 1930. For 6 long years, Madrid suffered a losing streak, even losing royal approval and the crown on their crest. All seemed lost until they defeated Barcelona in 1936 to win their 7th Copa title. By 1941, they had regained the crown on their crest and re-registered as Real Madrid. They then went on to win the largest victory margin in the history of El Clásico by defeating Barcelona 11-1 in the controversial semi-finals of the Copa del Generalísimo in 1943. This victory solidified the rivalry between Real Madrid and Barcelona. At this point, all eyes were beginning to fall on Real Madrid, with everyone wondering what the club's next move would be. But the fog would start to clear. The Bernabeu and Stefano era, 1940 to 1960. In 1945, Santiago Bernabeu became the president of Real Madrid and drastically changed the history of the club forever. He ushered in a new era by rebuilding the club's stadium, named after him, and its training complex. By 1955, after the European Champions League was created by French journalist Gabriel Hano, Bernabeu hunted for world-class players outside Spain to strengthen the club. It was on this hunt that he found one of Real Madrid's most prominent players. Alfredo Di Stefano was an Argentinian player who had left his former club, Millonarios, and was already signed with Barcelona at the time. In a shocking turn of events, Bernabeu exploited a mix-up in the process and got the Spanish Football Association to declare the transfer invalid. He then snatched Di Stefano, signing him with Madrid, only further igniting the rivalry between the two clubs. But this paid off. Di Stefano and Bernabeu led Real Madrid to win the European Cup 5 times in a row. Bernabeu also went ahead and signed other legendary players like Raymond Kopa and Jose Santamaria. During his presidency, Real Madrid won 16 league titles, 2 Latin Cups, 6 European Championships, and 1 International Cup. If you thought that was the end, Real Madrid was only getting started. In years to come, fans all over the world will be united by a phrase. But before that, let's find out how Spanish football has fared over the years. The Yeah years, 1960 to 1970. In a feat that still hasn't been repeated by any team of any country, Real Madrid won their 6th European Cup in 1966 with a team of only nationally born players. This team, known as the Yeye team, defeated Partizan 2-1 in the finals. However, Real Madrid's winning streak did not go on forever. Towards the end of the 1970s, the team started witnessing a decline and failed to lift the European Cup again for several years. This losing streak would go on right into what would eventually be known as the La Quinta del Butre era. La Quinta del Butre era, 1980 to 1990. Even down into the early 1980s, Real Madrid still struggled with finding luck as they continued to lose games. Although they were able to take home 2 national titles, La Liga and Copa del Rey, and were crowned the best European team of the year by the then France Football magazine early in the year, they were still stuck on the losing side. In fact, the team lost its chance to lift the European Cup, only making it to the semi-finals that year. The following year, in April 1981, Real Madrid lost the La Liga title, leaving fans at the stadium utterly disappointed. The losses worsened when Di Stefano, who used to be their star player, was brought back to manage the team in 1982. During the 2 years of his contract, Real Madrid lost the Supercopa, the Copa de la Liga, the La Liga title, and the European Cup finals. Unsurprisingly, his contract was not renewed. However, Real Madrid would not stay down for long. Towards the middle of the 1980s, 5 homegrown players led Real Madrid to dominate football. These players were named La Quinta del Buitre, meaning Vulture's cohort. It was a name given by a Spanish journalist, Julio Iglesias. These 5 talented players were Michel, Manolo Sanchez, Martin Vázquez, and Miguel Pardeza. All 4 of them were led by the group's alluring member, Emilio Butragueño. These 5 led Real Madrid to become one of the best teams in the 1980s. They won 2 UEFA Cups and 5 Spanish championships. As if jinxed, the early 90s also started with disappointment for Los Blancos and its supporters. However, towards the mid-90s, Raúl, a charismatic striker, led Real Madrid to win 2 La Liga titles and lift a Copa del Rey Cup. By the end of the decade, Real Madrid had finally won their 7th European Cup in 32 years, defeating Juventus in a 1-0 final, leaving supporters chanting the victory song. The question now on everyone's lips, both friends and foes, was, would this streak once again last for a long time? The Galacticos and Florentino Perez era, 2000 to 2010. Florentino Perez became the president of Real Madrid FC in July 2000. While campaigning, his major promise was to get rid of the club's £200 million debt and sign Luis Figo, who then played for their arch-rival Barcelona. After winning, Perez rezoned the training ground, raising money to clear their debts and sign Luis Figo. Perez also began building his star team, known as the Galacticos. His strategy was to sign a global star every summer, mixing them with homegrown talents. He signed Zinedine Zidane, David Beckham, Fabio Cannavaro, and Ronaldo. In 2002, it seemed as though his strategy worked. Real Madrid won the UEFA Champions League, the International Cup, and the Spanish La Liga. However, things soon took a downward turn, leaving Real Madrid trophyless for the next 3 seasons, and he resigned. Despite all the money spent, his gamble wasn't a smashing success, and Vanderlei Luxemburgo was sacked in 2006 and replaced by Ramon Calderón. Only until Florentino Perez once again became Real Madrid's president, he continued from where he left off, picking up his strategy with the Galacticos. He spent £56 million buying Kaká from Milan and then spent the record-breaking amount of £80 million buying Cristiano Ronaldo back from Manchester United. To add a cherry on top, Perez also managed to bag Jose Mourinho as manager of Real Madrid in 2010. It appeared fortune was starting to smile on the club, but for how long? The era of Cristiano Ronaldo, 2010 to 2020. By 2012, Perez had managed to rebuild the Real Madrid team and won La Liga for the 32nd time. They were also the first to set the record of 100 points in a season. By the end of that season, Real Madrid had scored a total of 121 goals, with Cristiano Ronaldo becoming the fastest player to score 100 goals ever in the history of La Liga. Ronaldo also shone when he broke the record of legend Ferenc Puskás, who had scored 100 goals in 105 matches. Cristiano Ronaldo scored 101 goals in only 92 games. He was also the first player to score a goal against every opponent in one season. Then in 2013, Mourinho's contract ended and he was replaced by Carlo Ancelotti. Once again, Real Madrid would set a new world record transfer fee by purchasing Gareth Bale from Tottenham Hotspur for €100 million. By the next year, Real Madrid had won La Decima, defeating Atletico Madrid to claim their 10th Champions League title and the UEFA Super Cup in 2014. This success was thanks to the famous attacking BBC trio, a name coined from the initials of Bale, Benzema and Cristiano. Madrid seemed unstoppable until the end of the summer. Real Madrid sold two key players, Xabi Alonso and Angel Di Maria. This decision wasn't taken well by supporters of the club. Nonetheless, in the 2014 season, Real Madrid went on to break the record of 18 successive wins by Barcelona by winning 22 matches in succession. In December, they won their first Club World Cup. Sadly, they lost their winning streak in the opening match of 2015 by losing to Valencia. However, by the end of the season, Real Madrid had only won 2 trophies out of 6, and Carlo Ancelotti was sacked in May 2015. He was replaced by Rafael Benitez, who was sacked the following year and replaced by Zinedine Zidane. Zidane led Real Madrid to even more glory by winning the Champions League trophies 3 consecutive times, from 2016 to 2018. They also bagged their 33rd league title in 2017. However, Zidane resigned after winning the Champions League in 2018. Cristiano also left for Juventus that same year. Zidane returned in the following year to once again lead Real Madrid to their 34th league title in 2020. Like a winding road, fans were once again left wondering where the next turn would leave the team. Present-day era 2020 to date. A year after COVID, Real Madrid FC would go from victories into a trophyless season. As might be expected, Zidane left and was replaced by the returning Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti returned to Real Madrid to win 2 trophies in 2021 to 2022, the Supercopa de España and the La Liga. Madrid also defeated defending champions Chelsea and favourite Liverpool in the Champions League final to lift their 14th European Cup. Despite this, they were still referred to as the underdogs in that season. In 2023, Los Blancos won their 20th Copa del Rey title after defeating Barcelona in a 4-0 match in the semi-final. With Benzema leaving the same year, Real Madrid signed Jude Bellingham. Bellingham scored 23 goals in his first league season, winning the Copa trophy as a result of his performance. After winning their 36th league title, Real Madrid became the first ever Spanish team to qualify for the 2024-2025 UEFA Champions League. In a final against Borussia Dortmund at Wembley Stadium, Real Madrid became European champions for the 15th time in history, lifting the UEFA Cup once again. Today, they hold the record for the team with the most UEFA Championship titles won. From its humble days as Nueva Sociedad de Football, Real Madrid has touched the pinnacle of football greatness, winning 15 European Championship titles, 36 La Liga titles, 2 UEFA Cups, 4 UEFA Super Cups, and 19 Copas del Rey, including 7 Club World Championships. Madrid's historical gallop through success and defeat is evident in their capability to face whatever storms arise in the future. With all of its greatness, where do you rank Real Madrid as a successful job? Share your comments, like and subscribe to our next video.